around the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Yes, they've concluded their not royal tour of Nigeria. They've been meeting local charities, though, schools, armed forces, been to areas that the British Foreign Office have advised against visiting. And in a memorable moment, Meghan has declared Nigeria her country and said that she's feeling very at home after finding out she's 43% Nigerian, according to a DNA test.
OK. Here's royal biographer Angela Levin. Would you like to claim any Nigerian, what's the word I'm looking for?
Heritage.
Heritage, the very word.
Yes, well, she did say some years ago that she had quite a large percentage of Maltese people in her as well.
Not as much as the Nigerian bit.
No, but I mean, but the person who did it never mentioned Nigeria to her, and I would imagine that you wouldn't miss out on one, but obviously she did.
Yes.
There's also a bit of German from her father's side. And that's it. But I think this whole thing wasn't actually about Invictus Games. I think this is really trying to make a stand as someone in the Commonwealth who's modern and clever and good and beautiful and charming.
And so all of it is, it's an image thing and it's a business thing, I would have thought as well. Anywhere where she can stake a business claim, a claim to earning money in the future. Well,
money, of course, yes, but I think the other thing is that it knocks out. I mean, people in the proper royal family haven't been to the Commonwealth because they haven't been able to due to illness. And I think this is to say, look, you know, forget about these lot and come with us. And I found it very painful, actually, to want to do that. I mean, you saw when they stood up for the national anthem, neither of them opened their mouth. I think they were a bit
Harry
shocked.
looked incredibly awkward during that. I don't know if we've got a clip of it, but he almost looked close to tears. And you can see a palpable sense of emotion, tension, anxiety in Harry. Meghan's face was perfect.
Yeah, well, she's great at that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what people admire when they first meet her. But when you get to know her, you see there's a lot underneath that she's very, very powerful about things like that. And there is this argument as well about whether King Charles said he couldn't have any time for him, whether he did. I mean, there's two sides now. One is that he never invited King Charles to go to St Paul's for the celebration of the 10 years of Invictus Games. And other people, he refused to go because he was too busy. So I think you have to work out. But I was very pleased to hear this other side because it means that they're ditching the late Queen's thing of don't explain, don't complain, and they actually want them to say something if they're not being true. So people have to make up their own mind who they believe, who they listen to, and it's very hard, I think.
Yeah.
For the royals.
You know, the thing for me, Angela, is when the Meghan bashing thing, it reaches a point for me where I actually start to feel like I don't like being a bully. You know, like everybody turns on her and everyone can't stand her, and then I start to question myself, going, am I part of the problem? So I don't like it. I don't like focusing on the negatives, except on the other hand, when I read that she stepped foot into the UK, but only into the Windsor suite of Heathrow Airport, which is reserved just for royals, which she technically isn't, wouldn't even step outside of the Windsor suite at Heathrow to come and meet Harry in London, to fly with him to Nigeria, and then said she felt at home there, having been married in this country, welcomed into our premier family.
A wedding that cost £32 million.
When these huge insults just keep... It's very insulting, isn't it?
Yes, it's very insulting to us, and I think that she doesn't mind that. In fact, she didn't come for the coronation either. Not because she was cross with the king and didn't like him so much, but she did when she first came over. I mean, he said to me how much he liked her, and she did the same. But it's that when it gets a bit below the surface, it all changes.
Such a shame, isn't it? Such a disappointing outcome from those two. Do you think that they look happy together? I mean,
they never look happy together, actually, more than a minute. I mean, on this event in Nigeria, she was talking to a teacher, and she obviously got very bored, and she turned around, as the teacher was speaking to her, turned around and did a wave. Often, you know, I don't imagine somebody was there, but she did wave. And then she then pulled Harry away so that they could move away from somewhere where she wasn't getting him enough attention. And you think, my goodness, You know, why do that? Why not? I also was rather appalled by the dresses she chose to wear, because at the school, a religious Muslim school, where all the teachers and the women had, you know, things up to the top, and sort of them had scarves around, and then to go with something that had no back, you know, and, you know, show off her shoulders. Are very keen on shoulders that are covered, and none of that was done. I mean, she's so determined to do what she thinks is very important, and.
What about William receiving the title of Colonel-in-Chief of the Army Air Corps? Of course, this is a wing of the military that Harry was very familiar with.
Yes, he was very familiar with him, but there's been an argument about why he didn't get it. The thing was, the King, when he was Prince Charles, that was his job. He had that. And then he passed it on to William, who's next in line. He also learnt how to fly, so there was no reason that he wouldn't get it first. And Harry has said he's no longer a member of the royal family. You know, he's stepped back from all these things. So I don't think he had a chance to do that. And I think it's very wrong for people to get cross about that, when actually it's a natural thing to have done.
When you said earlier that she's keen to do what is right and to do what is seen to be right, what would be right for the two of them? What do you see as right and possible, as well as right, for the two of them to be reintegrated or not? Or what way do you see the future for them?
Well, I think if they do want to do that, and I don't think they do, certainly not Meghan, is to compromise. Harry used to be the one who would help rows within the royal family. He was known for it. He was kind, he was generous. He would make them laugh, he would do all that. But that's all gone now. And he's very, very determined. And he has been, at times when he wants to see the king, his father, he will say it has to be this time, and he doesn't want Camilla there or someone else there. He doesn't want other people there. You know, he gives a whole list of when he can come and all that, instead of turning it round and saying, look, how can I please you? How can I come at a time that suits you? Let me stay for a couple of days. I won't discuss the past. I don't want to start shouting at you that you've got to apologise for Meghan or for me. And to try to start from the beginning, I think that is their only way round. I can't imagine that if he still sticks to everything, he's very, very determined not to move. And I think that's a great shame.